Hey, what's up, family? It's your boy Mark Black. I wanted to come on here today because there's a topic that I've been pretty eager to discuss, and it's one that I know it warrants major discussion in our community. In one of my last videos, I actually talked about the fear that a lot of brothers display rather than standing up and fighting by any means necessary to overturn or destroy the system that we are find ourselves captured by. They've allowed fear and other negative emotions to prevent their actions. Okay, to hinder them from doing the needful. But there's a secret that goes for both males and females in our community that I need to have brought out into the light. This secret is an open secret, right? It's not that we don't know what I'm about to tell us. The fact is it is the singularly most hidden thing, and is probably the primary reason why we are where we are today. That secret, right? The most open, hidden secret of the Black community is we are not free because we want to become those who oppress us. Yes, it's true. We want to be the pale people. Now, this isn't like I said, this is an open secret. Like saying that out loud, calling it out into the light so that it can be addressed. There's no one here who would deny that, right? Or you could try, but you have no way to deny this. We are where we are because we secretly want to become the pale people. Now, how do I know this, right? How do we know this? Of course, you can always tell a tree by the fruit it bears, right? If you look at what we uphold as a standard in everything, in styles of dress, in modes of speech, in action, in thought, in culture, in every way that we could possibly think of, the pale people are our standard. We want to make sure that we have exactly what they have. We want to be exactly what they are. We want the same level of power, the same level of material possessions. We want to be the pale people. We cannot be free of them. We cannot be free of them because we want to be them. And that is something that is never, ever discussed in any type of confabs, any type of videos that I can see. I'm not saying that I'm original. This isn't new. This information I'm giving to us is not anything we don't know, but we never talk about it. How can we claim that we want to be free, right? That we want to be our own autonomous, self-governing group of individual people on this planet Earth while still attaining to meet whatever standards that we've adopted from the pale people. I'll give you a case in point. I'm on Facebook, as you well know. If you ain't following me on Facebook, links on my main page. So I'm on Facebook, and I see this meme, right? One of those stupid ass pictures. I was hoping to do this video without any profanity, but I couldn't help myself. At any rate, this picture had a young brother walking down the street with his pants sagging, right, and his boxers showing. And the caption on the picture says, The white man doesn't keep you down, but your appearance and actions are, or something similar to that. I'm paraphrasing. Now, this meme is so fucked up in so many ways. I'm not even certain where to start. So I guess we start at the beginning. The white man doesn't hold you down. I'll repeat it just in case you guys missed it the first time. The white man doesn't hold you down. Everything about this system, everything about this culture is designed to do one thing, to hold you in place long enough for them to steal everything that you are, that makes you good, that makes you you, and put it in service of and in the pockets of them. Everything. Everything. Politics, religion, sex, economics, education, labor, the legal system, war. Everything they do is designed to keep you down. What black person in 2016 can really say that the white man doesn't keep you down with a straight face? I'll wait. So that's, of course, just the first part of the meme. But the second part is even more insidious than the first. Because the second part basically indicates, right, that we can somehow or another earn enough respectability in the eyes of the pale people so that they don't be racist to us. That's right, right? Your appearance and your speech are what's holding you down. So it's not this sick system put in place by the pale people to hoover all of our labor, resources, efforts, and our own butts for the use and the benefit of them. No. It's not that that's holding you down. It's your style of dress and your mode of speech that's keeping you back from any type of degree of freedom. Are you kidding me? I will admit that the particular aesthetic of wearing your pants around your waist, right, or below your waist, around your hip area, or whatever the case would be, showing off your boxers, having your pants sagging, is not my cup of tea anymore. I'm a former gang member. I used to run the streets. I never even questioned why we dressed that way. Everybody else was doing it, so that's how I dressed. I used to wear my pants saggy all the time, right? I didn't think anything crazy of it or, try to make it into some sort of statement. It just looked like what everybody else was doing, all right? When you're young, you follow the herd. That's how it goes down, right? So we know that this whole statement is a lie. We know that, right? How many pictures have you guys seen of our people, our ancestors, having been lynched by groups of whites? All right. I'm certain that, as a matter of fact, there's a great resource. I hate to use the term great, but I use it in the term as a terrible great. But there's a great resource called withoutsanctuary.org that has picture after picture after picture of our people being lynched. Okay. But the one thing that will shock the shit out of many of you is how many of our people were lynched wearing suits, wearing fedora hats and brogan shoes. How many of the women were lynched wearing sundresses and sandals, dressed respectably, quote unquote. Martin Luther King was dressed impeccably. He spoke eloquently, and he bled profusely when they put a bullet in his face and killed him. There is no amount of anything that we do to meet or adhere to any standard that they create that will give us enough respectability to escape racism. Period. Because if it were possible to dress your way out of racism, if it were possible to speak your way out of racism, if it were possible to live in the right neighborhood or attend the right schools or use the Queen's English and enunciate clearly, if it were possible to do all of these things and escape from racism, Black people would be free today. We would already be free because we have and continue to do that. This meme was disturbing on so many levels. Not a surprise, but disturbing. And what was disturbing about it wasn't necessarily the meme itself. I've seen variations of this same meme all over the internet. It doesn't shock me at all. What disturbs me is that a meme that I would expect to see on some pale person's profile or on Stormfront or whatever the case may be was posted right there on a Black person's page. Yes, one of us in 2016, with all evidence to the contrary, are still espousing this bullshit respectability politics shtick. And it is just that. It is bullshit, people. No, as a matter of fact, it's not bullshit because at least bullshit has some value. This is a non-starter. It is an absolute non-starter. And okay, don't get me wrong. I know the counter arguments to what I'm saying. Right? It's not about trying to cater and be like white people. It's about having self-respect. It's about showing that we care about ourselves. Now that sounds good on its face, but let's not pay attention to the fact, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain, that how can you claim that this is about self-respect when it's a standard you never developed for yourself? This standard about how to dress, how to speak, how to interact in their world and their company, those are standards that they developed for us. Whether or not to have facial hair, whether or not to have a natural, right? Whether or not to use African American vernacular English or whatever the case may be, right? Those are standards that they created arbitrarily and asked you and I to jump through hoops to meet them. Because these standards are external to us, right? Because we didn't generate these standards, these ways of being, these ways of living from within us, then there is nothing self about them. Nothing. Do you understand? As a matter of fact, do any of you understand actually what it is that you're saying when you co-sign memes like this? Do you even have a clue of what you're saying to us, your own people, when you co-sign and pump these memes up? What you're saying is the same thing that the pale people are saying. And that is this, that unless all of you, 100% of you, meet these standards, you are not worthy of even simple human decency. You do not have the right to your life. You do not have the right to act. You do not have rights to anything. You don't warrant any empathy, any sympathy, any respect, any decency. That is what you're saying. That is what you're saying when you put these memes forward. Oh, but it gets worse than that. Okay? Because even the insanity of somehow believing that we can behave our way to freedom out of racism, right? Beyond that insanity, the fact is that we are putting on a front, family. We're putting on a front, okay? We are pretending to have self-respect, pretending to have self-esteem, the whole time knowing that we secretly believe that they are better than us. And what's worse is we're the only fools who don't know it. Everybody else sees it. Everybody else looks at us imitating pale people and laughs. We're goddamned caricatures of pale people because we cannot be them. We are not them. So no matter how many hoops you jump through, no matter how many different ways of dress that you try to do that meets with their approval, no matter the mode or the style of speech or mode of speech that you utilize, none of that is going to make a bit of difference. You will not become them. You cannot become them. All you will do is hinder us becoming us. And that is a greater crime. That is a greater crime. We in the Black community, we the Black nation, all over in Africa and the diaspora, we have a problem today. We have a major problem. We've got a problem with agents in our midst, right? We've got a problem with people who work specifically to maintain and support white supremacy. Now, who are these people? Who are the agents? Well, first of all, usually the person who's asking who's the agent is the agent. But I'm the Black question and answer man, so I'm exempt. I can ask that question. I'm not the fucking agent. I can tell you what these agents are, though. How one becomes an associate of or a tool for the use of white supremacy is by this one thing alone. White supremacy cannot corrupt an honest person. And what is an honest person? Who is an honest Black person? An honest Black person is the one who only wants to be who they are. That's it. Nappy hair, big nose, big dicks, big feet, big asses, dark skin. That's us. We can't be anything other than what we are. And an honest Black person recognizes that and accepts it. But the dissatisfied ones, the ones who think that there's room for progress, that we don't need to get rid of this sick system. We don't need to do anything to overthrow it, to overturn it. No. We just need our turn at the table, our chance to take control of the reins, to grab the driver, the steering wheel and sit in the driver's seat. Those are the ones that they're able to corrupt. Those are the ones that they're able to turn. And those people then come and sit in our councils. They come and sit in our organizations. They sit in our living rooms, right? They're a part of our Facebook groups. They're subscribed to our YouTube pages. They're following our tweets. Those people have been turned because they believe not in getting rid of this shit, not in taking what we can back from them and going our own way. As a people, developing our own systems, our own tactics, our own methods and techniques, our own strategy, and walking our own path. No, they don't want that. The vast majority of us, it seems, and this is the secret, so I'm telling it right out here in public right now, in front of God and the whole damned world. The secret is that the vast majority of us, and this is why we are not free, the vast majority of us do not want to be free because they like things the way they are. They want this system just the way it is. The only problem they have with it is they're not the one in the driver's seat. You give them the keys and let them drive, and they will cut your goddamn throat to make sure that this system stays the way it is. And for the life of me, I cannot figure out What makes them so great? Because remember, there's two sides to this equation of white supremacy. Side number one, there is the whites asserting, no evidence, by the way, they really don't have any evidence, asserting that they're dominant, that they're superior. And then the other side is us buying in, us saying, yeah, there's something about, what is it that you love so much about this system, about this culture? Is it their technology? The same technology that has people killing themselves trying to manufacture it in countries all around the world, that technology? Is it the technology that has got people sick, poisoned? The whole damn environment is poisoned. The water is poisoned. The air is poisoned. We have dioxin in our mother's breast milk. Dioxin is one of the most toxic substances known to anybody. That technology? The same technology that they give you as little nigga trinkets with Apple symbols on it and Android symbols on it and so on and so forth, yet those same technologies are used to track you, to monitor you, to abuse you, to lock you up, to accuse you, to keep you down. Those technologies, if those technologies are what's keeping you a part of this whole damn thing, keeping you upholding them as the standard, I'd rather live in a hut and eat grass than to continue to live under this. And until you would rather do the same, we will never be free. We will never be free as long as we want to sit in the driver's seat. That's the secret. That's that nasty, filthy, stinking, rotten, dirty secret that sits in the hearts of probably the vast, overwhelming majority of dark-skinned people, both in Africa as well as in the diaspora. We don't want to overthrow the white man. We want to be the white man. We're okay with this sick system and everything it engenders, all the rottenness, all the destruction, all the poison, all of that. We're okay with that. We just want our turn up to bat. That is why we've seen no reason whatsoever to develop our own ways, our own standards. Look, I'm not saying that we need to not have any parts, any doings with them. They've stolen everything from us. So I'm all for you looking at their society, their culture, their technology, everything about them, and stealing as much of that shit as you can get your hands on. Steal everything. Steal it all. Steal it all. Don't ask them. Our brother Frederick Douglass said, power never surrenders anything without a demand. It never has and it never will. So don't ask them, demand it. You go and take back everything you can take from them. But when you take it, bring it home and make it ours. Make it ours. Don't utilize their arbitrary standards, their arbitrary everything, and then try to force that on us. And then pretend to call it self-esteem, to pretend to call it self-respect. You know what? There must really be something to this whole post-traumatic slavery disorder, or the internalized sick Stockholm syndrome, this love hate DV relationship that we have with the pale people. There must be something to that, because it boggles the mind that we cannot see the insanity of a people that have made it clear that by every standard you can possibly imagine that they are enemies to us, that we would accept everything and anything they tell us whole cloth. And not only that, but use all of our social tools to force it on other black people. Look, if something happened tomorrow, okay, and I was in a situation where my life was in danger, and a young king came and he saved my life, do you honestly think I'm going to care a single bit about whether that brother's pants was down around his ass or not? Do you really think I'm going to care? No. I know a brother. This brother's out there in the streets daily, organizing, fighting the pigs, defending his community, supporting his community, uplifting his community, building his community. He's part of an organization that is dedicated and predicated upon the uplift and the freedom and the power of African people everywhere. You really think that I care that that brother is same gender loving and wants to be and live his life with a man? You think I care that he's gay? Are you stupid? No, I don't give a damn. All of these false divisions that we have in the community come directly from this idea that we can be respectable enough if we just do enough that they'll love us. They won't. They won't. There is no thing that we can do that will ever make them see us as worthy of respect. The only way we will get respect from the pale people is to take it. Is to take respect. Meaning that we find what is best for us, our ways. And the one uniting principle is this: melanin. The one thing none of us escape, baby. Melanin. All right? You are African and you're black. That's the only thing we need to not unite around. We don't need to like each other and everybody's, all of our aesthetic senses and religious purposes are all the same. That's never going to happen. And it's foolish to expect it so. It's foolish to expect that that's going to be the case. So unite around this. Unite around this damned powerful, mighty black fist. And let everything else go to the wayside. I'll make you a deal, family, because I love you. I'll make you a deal. When we are finally free, when we have autonomy, right? Self-governing, self-ruling, when we no longer depend upon the pale people for our daily sustenance, when our lives are our own, completely and forever. If you want to bust up into 10,000 different little cliques, go right ahead. With my blessing, go right ahead. All right? If you want to judge this brother over here for wearing pants down around his goddamn kneecaps, I don't care. Go right ahead at that point. If you want to judge this light-skinned sister over here or this dark-skinned sister over here, at that point, feel free. Until then, we got to leave all of this to the side. We got to leave all of this to the side, people, and we have to get together by every and any means. 100%. Because we are being looked at 100%. If we do not meet these fake-ass, illogical, nutty standards, 100% of us, then it's as if none of us meet them. And we will be treated accordingly. So why don't we find a 100% standard of our own to organize around? Why don't we organize around the one principle that unites us all Africans and leave all this rest of this madness alone? And for the love of everything sacred and holy and beautiful in this universe, please stop forcing these brainwashed ass ideas of anything that doesn't come from us onto other people. Stop it. It is nutty. You have to dress like this so you can get a job, so that you can do this. Really? Do you even question the idea of why we should have jobs to begin with? Do you even question the idea of why we need money to begin with? Don't get me wrong. Again, I understand the world we live in. I'm not a fucking utopian. I am 100% behind using their fucking tools to demolish the fucking house. So don't sit here and pretend that Mark is saying that we need to go back to the jungle and live. But what the hell is so wrong with the jungle anyway? What if we were all wearing grass skirts and sitting around huts in a fire? What would be so bad about that? How do you consider this progress? How do you consider this civilization? When did they become the standard of what is civilized? Of what constitutes progress? We call these young brothers and sisters that dress in that way, and we know where it comes from. It comes from the whole prison thing or whatever. I didn't question that when I was young. Okay, fine. We know where it comes from, but we question them, and on top of that, we denigrate them. We call them savages. Savages. When these people have no problem with dropping a bomb on a city and killing hundreds of thousands of people in an instant, in a flash of fire and light and radiation, and you got the nerve to call my brother a savage? You have the nerve to say that we've evolved from the jungle? Have we really? If being in the jungle means that we share our resources together, if being in the jungle means that we don't take too much from nature than what she can provide, if living in the jungle means that we're organized as a community with gods as old as time, with rituals as old as time, with a language as old as time, that's our way and no one else's, then damn it, I'd rather be back in the jungle. I'd rather be that savage so many of you seem to be running away from to try to cozy up and cater to these pale people. I'm over it. Period. Point blank. The end. I'm over it. I will not denigrate a one of you for how you dress, how you speak, how you think, how you act, how you are. I will not denigrate you at all. I don't judge you. I don't have to like it, but I don't judge you. Because in my humble estimation, we need all of us. We need all of us. But I had to bring this secret out. I had to tell it. It's a poison that flows through the veins of all too many of us, way too many of us. This sick poison that says that we don't want to change anything. We don't want to overturn this. We don't seek a return to justice, to autonomy, peace, freedom, prosperity for all, loving kindness, empathy, respect. No, 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 no. No, no, these pale people got it right. That is, fuck you, I got mine. No, I want that. But I want to be in the driver's seat instead of the pale people. That's that little sick, dark secret. And that is what that's what I brought out. So make a choice, people. Make a choice where you stand today. Do you stand with the forces of life for us, where we develop our own ways, our own lifestyles, our own things, and we stick to each other and cleave to each other like atoms? Like atoms make up an element so tight that to break the bonds would require a release of energy like a nuclear bomb? Or do you want to be them? Because if you want to be them, go right ahead, but you ain't a part of me. You ain't a part of anybody that looks like me. You ain't a part of anybody that is a part of me. Go be with them. It's your boy Mark Black. I'm glad to got that. I'm glad to get that secret out in the open. I'm glad that this secret is now out. Now we can call it out. We can address it definitively, and we can get past it. Until the next time, love, peace, prosperity, and power to my people.